My name is Jerricha Hoskins. I am the founder and owner of Arcani Coil Care, a natural hair product company based in Dayton, Ohio, and also the Arcani Natural Hair Studio based here in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, what inspired me to become an entrepreneur? I come from a background of hairstylist. My great aunt, Tina Reeves, she was a hairstylist up till like she was over 60 years old. She used to always tell me that if I wanted to be a hairstylist, I had to figure out ways to make money without standing behind the chair. So that inspired me to start my company. I did not come from a family of entrepreneurs. My family very much so believed in like going to college, getting a degree. They wanted me to be a basketball player. Don't know why I got T-Rex arms, but whatever. So watching them work, and I just never liked the idea of punching the clock and working for somebody else. So they actually influenced me to not do that. Working in other people's salons, I'll talk about my salon specifically. I was always under like their rules and what they felt like was okay and what was not okay, or maybe my skill set was a little different than everybody else's. So I opened this salon specifically to allow everybody to do exactly what they do. We're a little family, a little girl family in here. They get on my nerves though, but I love them so much. Starting off in my business, I was manning everything. I made everything, I labeled everything, I shipped everything, I handled customer service, I handled social media, and as my business grew, I understood that I had to begin to delegate some of those tasks in order for my business to grow. So my children and my husband, I really don't make my kids work for real anymore. But when I started, like I would make them help label. They would help me take things to the post office. It was a time where like my husband was taking packages to the post office for me, like while I was pregnant and stuff. They help to keep me grounded, but I'm a control freak, and if it's not done how I want it done, I just rather nobody touch it. So, but I include them because my goal for real is to build something that they can carry on and pass down to their children, and their children can pass it down, and so on and so forth. So they're involved in my business. They know a lot. Like if something was to happen to me, Arcani Coil Care will still be here. And I involve them because I don't want them to think that you just have to go to college and work for somebody else to have the life that you want. I always tell my children, like, you know, if you're going to go to school, you have to go to school to create a job. Don't go to school to go work for somebody else. Being a mom and starting a business, like, remember that your children are your why. Like, do you want them to have the life that you live? Do you want them to have a better life? Like, that is how I am a mom in business. Like, I have to do this for them. Like, they can never go through anything that I went through. So every day that I wake up, if I don't feel like working, I got to look at my children. Like, I don't have the option to not do my absolute best every single day because I have a generation that I have to pass something down to, like 5-6 generations that I have to pass things down to. I would say at age 15, I was put into the foster care system. I was an at-risk teen. I stayed in the foster care system. They told me if I graduated high school, I could get out of the foster care system. So I went to Life Skills right on Main Street. Only had credits left. I went to school from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day for 14 days straight and earned my last 2 credits of high school. Got out of the foster care system, went through some horrible relationships, you know, but whatevs, it made me stronger. I went through homelessness. I went through like living in shelters. I used to live in the Holden House downtown on Wilkinson Street, bed bug infested, drug addicts, dirty elevator, but I did what I had to do. I knew the end game of everything. Like, I had to go through that to get to this point. I chose Dayton for like the home of my business because this is where I grew up. And you hear growing up, like, if you want to be successful, you got to get out of Dayton. Like, I literally am the like poster child for you could make millions in your hometown. And it may not be because the people from your hometown are purchasing from you. Like less than 1% of my revenue comes from my hometown, but I'm able to employ people in my hometown. Like it's different. Everybody has different goals, but I refuse to take this and go to a different city. Like the city that cultivated me, that raised me, deserves that. This came out of Dayton. Like your children are gonna write book reports about me. Like Arcani Coil Care, like I'm the first hair product manufacturer in the city of Dayton. Like I opened a factory on Denlinger Road, like in an abandoned building that had sat for 20 years. So I'm very intentional about staying here in Dayton. I could have purchased a warehouse in Miamisburg and West Carrollton, anywhere but Dayton. But I literally chose Dayton because I had to show people like this, it can be done. In starting this business, I always said that I wanted to be able to pour money back into my community. Like it's cool to become a millionaire or whatever, but what do it mean you being a millionaire if the people around you are still struggling? That doesn't make sense. So that's been my motivation. The advice that I would give you is never stop working. Consistency beats anything. If you're consistent in your business, if you are passionate about your business, it is inevitable, it's gonna grow. Like if you were to hammer something into the wall consistently, it's going to make a hole in the wall. So think of your business or you breaking into whatever industry you're trying to break into in that way. My name is Jerricha Hoskins and I am an entrepreneur.